Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Friday. Somewhere loosely in December. Sometime around there, anyway. It's all a bit of a blur. As usual, if you are watching, do please pop a hello in the comments so that we can say hello and do the whole, how cold is it where you are kind of thing. It's cold here. We have frost. No snow, though, although we don't get it very often, to be honest, because we're too near the sea. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Janet. Losing my voice already. That's not a good start, is it? I need more mince pies, obviously. Good morning, Jay, down in a frosty Cornwall. Yes, Air Garden's got a very nice smattering of frost this morning. As have all the cars, as everyone was scraping them this morning. Good morning, Caroline. Yeah, it's that time of year. Lots of frost. The garden is still flowering desperately. There are roses with frost on them. It's mad, but hopefully it'll all be all right. As nature does its dying down and its rebirth and that whole shebang. Good morning, Colin. -3 when you got up. Yeah, I don't know what it is now. Yeah, -2 according to my phone. Chilly, basically. Good morning, Jackie. Although, we're in England here, so it never gets super, super cold. We never have, 8 feet of snow or anything. So we're quite lucky, really. Snow, lovely to look at. Don't really want to be trying to do stuff in it, driving through it and all that. But we are nearly at that festive time of the year. We are in the festive time. We're nearly at that date. So I'm continuing on from last week's talking about magical festive food and sort of branching out into plants associated with Yule and the winter solstice and maybe a few bits of food thrown in. We'll see where it takes us. If there are any festive plants or foods that you associate with the winter solstice or with Yule, chuck them in the comments and we'll see what magic we can work with them. Caroline says -7 here near Avebury. Oh, that's chilly. Good morning, Heather. Good morning, Claire. Good morning, Jane. Good morning, Corrigan. Jackie, first check-in live since September. Well, where have you been? We've been here. Good morning, Jackie. -3 feels like -6. It says on my weather app. Yeah, sheet of ice on the front pavement. No, don't go out because that's not safe. Stay indoors in the warm. Good morning, Kerry. Good morning, Lizzie. Good morning, Amanda. Lizzie says -8 this morning from frosty Wales. Oh, yeah. Stay indoors. It's definitely a festive jumper kind of day. Hot chocolates, all that. I'm sorry, are we boring you?
I think he was agreeing with it.
Was he? Yeah. Eric hasn't moved from his blankets, really. Colin collected holly with berries on them to bring into the home. Very nice. We'll have a look at holly in a second. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, Emma. Kerry, -4 here in Clonelly. Yeah.
Was that you speaking Welsh?
That was me speaking Welsh. I'm trying. I am trying. Christine, in North Dorset, it's -2 and sunny. Yeah, it is sunny here, actually. Cold and chilly, but sunny, which, for this time of the year, it's nice. We don't want the rain, that's for sure. Good morning, Lizzie. Good morning, Anne. Was -11 today. Freezing here. Oh, no, had to go out. Oh, no, that's no. Bobble hat weather, definitely. Good morning, Zoe. Good morning, Karen. Cold and frosty, -10 yesterday. I'm off for a walk later. If you wrap up well, it's nice to be out in because it is crisp and fresh and frosty and crunchy and even. Jackie staying indoors. Darth Vader Christmas jumper on. Excellent. And I'm making marmalade as we speak. Oh, oranges. I've got oranges on my list to talk about today for things. Festive Magic. Corrigan. Getting into the 30s this weekend. Summer has finally arrived. Okay, Corrigan's on the other side of the planet. One of my hellebores is confused, though. It's still flowering. We had hellebores for the first time last year, and we were very impressed. Not only did they start flowering in December,
But they haven't finished yet.
but yeah, they literally flowered right through the summer. They've got new buds on them now. Yeah, very impressed with hellebores. Oh, Jackie has a good... We'll let you off, Jackie. Good excuse is fine. But I hope you're feeling better. I hope it's all sorted. So, more festive foods and plants and things, not just to eat, although obviously you can. You know, we cracked open the festive sweets. The festive chocolates were opened and tipped into a bowl yesterday. Hi, Zephora. Darn internet is being glitchy. If Facebook is glitchy with the internet, hop on over to the YouTube channel. It seems to be a smoother ride. I have no idea why. It just does.
Looks fine, yes.
-6 for Jackie in Berkshire. Good morning, Keith. So yeah. Oh, didn't turn the phone off.
Tell them who it is.
It's Hans Gruber, hoing as he falls off the building. It's not Christmas till Hans Gruber's fallen off the building. Well, fallen's probably the wrong word, isn't it? We have watched Die Hard already. And of course, Holiday Inn, which is one of my very favourite.
Very similar film.
Very similar. Yeah, very similar. Not. Yeah, that's one of my favourites of Holiday Inn. Oh, Fred Astaire and his dancing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Anyway. Come to the YouTube side. We have cookies. Excellent. Jane, we've got a 2.4 kilo box of celebrations and opened it early. Not many left now. That's the problem, isn't it? You open it and they're gone. I did memories, actually. I came up on Facebook of 2 years ago, and we were on our third lot of Christmas chocolates, having eaten the first 2 lots and had to replace them. We've been a bit better this year. Good morning, Kerry. Christine's off to M&S today to get a few treats. Yum. And also to visit a chocolate factory shop. There may be some vegan chocolates bought. There's no maybe about that. No maybe at all. And love, actually. Oh, yes, but, you know, I love Alan Rickman. Do not love him in that film. Because it was not nice. Good morning, Christine. Good morning, Helen. There's some other good ones, isn't there? Arthur Christmas. Fred Claus, that's another one of my favorites. Elf, obviously. Oh, we've got a whole stack of them. Been a bit slow this year. I've tended to watch Christmas festive cooking programs rather than films when I've had a bit of time. So yeah, don't know why. Keith has brandy snaps. Nice. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Melody. Good morning, Charlotte. Full of cold. Oh, yeah, we've got a household full of it here. You can probably hear Ben coughing in the background. Jackie, you know Lethal Weapon takes place over Christmas, the first one. Oh, they were so good. Yeah, we're going to have to crack those out as well, I think, and watch those for a long time.
The 80s.
80s. Never left the 80s. Anne's watched loads of films. Yeah, I love them all. Sephora, psyching yourself up for Christmas dinner, watching cooking shows. Yeah, it does make me hungry, though, and have done quite a lot of baking. It's not good for the waistline, but there you go. So any food, plants, things like that you think of that are associated with the festive period, chuck them in the comments and we'll have a look. Jackie mentioned oranges, so we'll kick off with oranges. Fruit of the sun, happiness, love, enlightening, very uplifting. During the 19th century, to give a gift of an orange was thought to be generous and thoughtful. There you go. And we all had them in our stockings, didn't we? A bit later than the 19th century, but we all had them in our stockings. Orange juice makes a good ritual drink. Orange peel makes a good herbal tea to bring about clarity and energy. And it's really good in incense blends as well. So, yeah, Love, happiness, uplifting, generosity, purification, clarity, energy, fidelity. Ruled by the sun and fire. So orange is a real good winter solstice, welcome the sun back kind of thing. So yeah, orange is good. Orange is good. What else? What else have we got? What else have we got? Let's see some more. Food Network always gets me in the mood for Christmas. That's what I've been watching, Jane. This has been kind of on a loop, although they repeat stuff, which is just rude. Charlotte's watching all the reruns of Kirsty's Handmade Christmas. She's got some new ones as well this week. I've been watching them as well. I never make any of the crafts because it's no patience. But she has some wonderful things on there. Kerry Die Hard's a great Christmas movie. Yeah, it's up there. Lots of eating. Yeah, we do lots of eating at this time of the year. Yeah, definitely. Anne says holly and mistletoe. Yes, let's have a look at holly and mistletoe. Got to be the real favourites at this time of the year, haven't they? I'm on this one because I don't remember them. But yeah, actually, we've got a holly tree in our garden that has. I haven't noticed any berries on it. I shall have to inspect. It's a little bit cold out there, so I only go out there to let Eric out at the moment. Holly wouldn't really be your without it, would it? But holly's also burnt at inbox ceremonies. Keep a sprig of holly above your bed to ensure good dreams and insightful visions. Plant holly around your property for protection against lightning, poison, and evil spirits. Just, let's hope they don't all come at the same time. Put holly sprigs on your altar at the winter solstice to invite happiness, balance, success, and luck into your life for the coming year. Hollyberry is a symbolic of the life-giving blood of the goddess. To work with fertility and feminine sexuality, take 3 hollyberries and throw them in water, the ocean, a river, a pond, and make your request to deity as you do so. So holly is protection, luck, dreams, balance, success, ruled by Mars and Saturn, and it is the element of fire and a masculine energy. But very, very festive, very festive. I missed going up here. Strawberries are big here for Christmas in New Zealand. Okay. They're June for us. I don't like to buy them at Christmas here because they're not very nice. Colin says dates. Yep, I've got dates here. Dates are in this one. World of Magical Food. The other things, in answer to Lizzie's question, is that one. World of Magical Plants and Herbs. So dates are the suspicious looking brown wrinkled things that you get at Yule. No, not grandma. Sweet fruits from the phoenix palm tree. Ancient fruit. They were sacred in Babylon and ancient Greece and quite often used as offerings to the gods. Persians used them to celebrate with the symbolism of death and resurrection. The date fruit is considered to be very spiritual and symbolizes the soul. They also have very strong aphrodisiac qualities. Also, I'm told. They're also one of the main ingredients in sticky toffee pudding. It's the bit that makes sticky toffee pudding sticky. So that's what we do with them mostly. So dates are spirituality, death and rebirth, and very good as offerings. Ruled by the sun and the element of air, they are feminine energy. I must admit, I don't tend to eat them very often other than in a sticky toffee pudding. Just, Christine's fed up with mince pies already. I'm fed up with shop bought mince pies. I ended up making my own because they're just all nasty, the shop bought ones. Maria always watches It's a Wonderful Life and Christmas Carol, various versions, including the Muppets.
It's Christmas.
No, it's the same mug as last. I do need more Christmas mugs, obviously. Thank you.
You can say thank you first before you
complain.
No, I complain. Be polite.
Yeah. He's had a cold this week. He's a little bit grumpy. Maria, It's a Wonderful Life is not allowed in our house. It is the most depressing, miserable, unhappy, horrible Christmas film ever. I know I go in against the grain with that one, but I won't let it in the house. Christmas Carol, however, particularly the Muppet version, is very high on their list.
You mean only the Muppet version?
Only the Muppet version.
As
Yeah,
that was the
pretty
original.
much. Yeah, only the Muppet version, really. Colin has a holly tree in a pot. Yes, Airs is in a pot, actually. Keith, I've got all the Christmas carols by Charles Dickens and the Scrooge films. Scrooged with Bill Murray. Brilliant film. Brilliant film. Kerry, nuts, the old-fashioned way where you used a hammer before they came in packets. Yes. Nuts, there's lots and lots of nuts. Lots of nuts. So walnuts. Work with the energy of walnut to help increase your mental clarity and to help with decision making. Sleep with a walnut under your bed to increase fertility. Use walnut shells as holders. You can write your wishes on small pieces of paper and pop them inside the walnut shell. Bury or burn them to set the intent of your wishes. And in one of the goddess courses that we ran, we did drawing sigils and symbols on the shells of walnuts as well. So walnut is wishes, mental powers, clarity, and fertility, ruled by the sun, element of fire, and it is a masculine energy. Almonds, you can add almond oil to anointing as a base for anointing, or to add to floor washes, add it to your incense blends. Use almonds in hand fasting rituals or spell work for joining people together. Pop almond nuts or leaves in your pocket, medicine pouches or witches' bottles to bring money in. Keep an almond in your pocket to lead you to treasure. Treasure of what kind? I have no idea. Almond wood makes wonderful love magic wands. It's also said to stimulate your intuition and insight, along with activating your third eye. So almond is love, prosperity, treasure, intuition, psychic powers, passion.
We're busy then.
It is ruled by Mercury and the element of air. It's a masculine energy. I'll keep going through the nuts. Brazil nuts, nicer, covered in chocolate, obviously. Pop a few Brazil nuts into a blender with some olive oil. Give it a whiz, and you have Brazil nut butter.
Yeah, nut goo.
Yeah. Nut goo. Yes, thank you for that. Oh, that's setting off now. It is. Brazil nut carries a huge... Don't think you're taking this seriously. Brazil nut is a huge pack of love energy. So use it in magical workings or recipes for that love thing. Carry a Brazil nut with you to bring love and good luck for relationships, and also keep one with you to bring money your way. I think nuts in general, all of them, bring the prosperity energy with them. But Brazil nut is love and prosperity, ruled by Venus, element of earth, and it is a masculine one. And the hazelnut. It has a hazelnut in every bite. What has a hazelnut in every bite?
Don't be rude.
Squirrel droppings. Oh, yeah, it's Christmas. Hazelnut is sacred to the god Thor. Hazel twigs can be placed around the home to protect your house from being struck by lightning. There's a lot of lightning in these things. I don't know whether it was something that people were particularly frightened of, but there you go. It's another one that stimulates the third eye chakra and enhances your psychic powers and your intuition.
You don't know what lightning was back in the day.
No, it would have been scary, wouldn't it?
Scary, yeah.
String hazelnuts onto a cord, which would be a little bit of a feat, but you could do it. Hang it in your home to bring in the magic of the fairy world. Do your research about fairies first, please. Hazelnut also has a huge amount of medicinal healing properties. It is really good for using in making bread and cakes as well, if you're gluten-free. Hazelnut flour is nice to work with. And of course, in the legend of Finn McCall, hazelnuts fell around a sacred pool that was surrounded by 9 hazel trees. The salmon that lived in the water ate the hazelnuts and were filled with infinite knowledge. Then Finn ate the salmon and the knowledge was passed to him. Although this does beg the question, if the salmon was filled with infinite knowledge, why did he allow someone to catch him and eat him?
Where did the salmon get the infinite knowledge from?
Just from the hazelnuts.
Oh, right. Rather than Google, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just saying. So hazelnut is protection, psychic powers, wisdom, fertility, fairy, and healing, ruled by the sun and Mercury and the element of air. And it is a feminine and a masculine one because the hazelnut has both male and female energies because the flowers are both. Catkins are male, but the tree produces tiny female flowers that hide in the leaves. There you go. Now you know. Let's do some of these. Jane, when I was a kid, oranges were still rations, so when they appeared in the shops, they were a novelty. My brother and I had half an orange each cut into triangles. They were so sharp they made our lips sore. For some reason, we always ate them off copies of Practical Householder or Railway Modeler, so I associate them with the weird smell of those glossy magazines to catch the juice and drips, I guess. Definitely. Willow Moon. If you put holly and oak leaves on your altar, will they fight? Within the Wiccan tradition, the winter solstice is when the Holly King and the Oak King fight. They battle to rule, to see who rules the next half of the year. Don't bet on it because it's a foregone conclusion. It doesn't matter how many times they fight. There is always going to be that one same winner at each solstice. I'm just saying. I think holly and oak leaves on your altar are representative of the two different sides of the year. So hopefully there won't be a punch up. Jane, dates, yuck. They are toenail toffees in disguise. I'm never going to be able to look at a date in the same way now. That's quite gross. Christine, Yule logs decorated and tied on messages to ancient ones. Poems are usually read and always a story to be told by the fireside, which is lit with the last year piece of charcoal and chocolates to be munched. Absolutely, absolutely. Emma, we've got a friend coming over for Yule, recently lost his mum, and we all agreed that friendship is a magical thing in itself. We're going to look after him. Oh, wise words, Emma, wise words. Anne loves dates. They are, Jane. Anne will eat all your dates. Oh, Sephora says date and orange muffins are rather splendid. I like the idea of that. And Amanda, date and walnut cake, a traditional, yes, absolutely. Good morning, Charlie. Anne says, nice ones in Home Bargains. Mugs, that is. Oh, okay. Colin loves them up at Christmas Carol. How could you not? So does Corrigan. Yeah, how could you not? Christine, Krampus filmed was horrendously gory but addictive to watch. I have not seen that one. Oh, obviously, Maria, the Hogfather. Yeah, definitely. Got to watch the Hogfather. That's a tradition. I generally watch that one on my own because I'm the only one that can make sense of it. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Eve. Emma, we don't need nuts. There's at least 3 living in our house. Ain't that the truth for all of us? Maria said, not at all. Maria says almond oil for candle magic. Absolutely. It's a really good base, almond oil. Keith says, what about the devil's crust marzipan? Yeah, there's not much I don't eat. And I would eat marzipan if forced to, but I find it revolting. Yeah, horrible, horrible, horrible. Sephora, sounds like the UK needs garlic, manuka honey and elderberries to sort out all these sniffles. Yeah, we've got a bit of a thing of colds and coughs here at the minute. Anne likes a topic. Yeah, I don't mind a topic. Hi, Louise. Maria, Christmas Horror Story has Krampus, in which it's worse, in my opinion. Well, obviously, the Krampus edition of Grimm has got to be watched. No, we don't need a fairy world, Maria. If you're going to work with the fairy world, you've got to do your research first. Charlie, just Brazils. Yeah, my nan always had them at Christmas. Yep, loved them and would strategically stand or sit by them and eat most of the box. My nan was a feeder, so she didn't mind. Yeah, I'm one of those. But yeah, chocolate-covered Brazil nuts, good. Christine, used to get half almonds and wrap them inside a date and then wrapped in marzipan and half dipped in melted chocolate. They're lush. All of that except the marzipan. But yes, nice. Nice. Jane, I made a big circle of hazelnuts in the back garden a long time ago to do a magical working. More and more gaps appeared in the circle and more trees appeared in the garden. Not a good idea as they were imported nuts and not the native ones. I have made this mistake myself where you have ingredients from a working that have seeds in them or nuts or those types of ingredients, and I offer them back to the earth. So strange things start growing in the garden where you threw them. Sephora, as us in the southern hemisphere are getting summer solstice, have lined up some mead and a bonfire. What are we missing? Well, that sounds like a pretty good combination to me, Sephora. Mead and a bonfire. Who needs anything else? I'm going to send my marzipan to Emma. It's all yours, Emma. You're welcome to it. And Alex, I have to hide marzipan in a house. I can eat a whole block if found. Ew. Lizzie, anyone watched Troll yet? No, I haven't made it to that one yet. Maria, I watched the Krampus episode in Grimm on the 5th. You've been naughty. Good episode. Heather, Sarah and I went to see the film Violent Night. See, I even by the title, I know I'm not going to like it. This Santa has had a very large ancient hammer from his life before being Santa. Yeah, I like elves and presents and candy canes and yeah. Although I do like a bit of Krampus, obviously. So we did holly. Let's get back onto this. Ivy. No, mistletoe. Well, we could do both, actually, couldn't we? Let's do ivy first because it's first in the alphabet. Not first in the whole alphabet. First in the alphabet before mistletoe. It's going to get very complicated today. And I've got a long day. So, ivy. It creeps. So ivy's really good for binding spells. It also sends out the little feelers and locks itself onto brick walls. So it is really ideal for binding spells. Make an ivy wreath to place in your home to bring love and abundance in and to keep negative energy out. Use ivy in workings for protection, fertility, and healing. Ladies should carry ivy with them for good luck. Sorry guys, just seems to be a feminine thing. I don't make the rules. I make my own rules, but not in this case. Ivy is a symbol of the goddess and feminine energy, and it also represents the spiral of life. So ivy is protection, healing, binding, love, abundance, and fidelity. Ruled by Saturn and the moon, it is the sign of Scorpio. That's me. And the element of water, and it's a very feminine energy. So I use ivy quite a bit, actually, in spell working. Mistletoe. I'm not going to sing mistletoe and wine because I can barely speak at the moment, let alone sing. So, obviously, mistletoe is a parasite. It lives on other trees. It needs other trees to be able to live. Often found on apple, ash, and hawthorn, and occasionally on oak trees. It doesn't have roots in the earth, and it will seemingly appear to just grow in midair on the tree. So it is considered to be a sacred plant, one of those liminal in-between places. Hang mistletoe in your home for protection and to bring love and peace to your household. Use mistletoe in fertility, dream, and healing spell work, especially for spiritual healing. I must admit, when I think of mistletoe and when I work with mistletoe, I generally go with the fertility aspect of it. It is synonymous, big word for today, at this time of the year. Ones made of mistletoe were said to ward off werewolves, just in case you needed to protect yourself from werewolves. Yeah. Bear in mind, it is poisonous. Don't eat the berries because you'll die, basically. Just don't do it. So mistletoe is fertility, protection, love, health, and dreams. Ruled by the sun, which always, yeah, I suppose winter solstice kind of makes a link. Sign of Leo, an element of air, and it is a masculine energy. So actually mistletoe and ivy go together quite well because they are the masculine and the feminine. But, you know, ivy, holly, mistletoe, all this time of the year. all this time of the year. Yeah, Emma, Holly and the Ivy. Yeah, I'm still not going to sing, Emma, because my singing's rubbish. Colin has ivy growing up the side of the bungalow. It really needs cutting back. It does tend to worm its way into the brickwork. Lizzie, I don't have mistletoe, holly, or ivy because I have a cat and a dog, and they eat everything. There is that. I have a teenage son. Have you got your lunch?
Yeah, let's start this again.
Have you got your lanyard? Have you got your bus pass? Have a nice last day before the Christmas holidays. Have a nice geology assessment. Woohoo! Yes, please be careful with any of the plants that you bring indoors and that they are out of the way of animals and small children. Maria, thought was going to have a missing toe on Sunday waiting for the trains back. Poor Maria got a bit stranded, didn't you, with Senia at our workshop on Sunday because the trains were all cancelled and it was cold. I'm glad that you got back safely though. Jane, all these things we're supposed to carry with us to help with everything. We'd get some weird looks from anyone who had to search our handbags at a gig. We did have this conversation Sunday, actually, because we did a workshop and we made some spell pouches and various things. Xenia was going back on the plane with bags full of little herbs and mysterious-looking plant matter. She did decide to leave most of it with us so that she didn't get stopped on the airplane. Keith, there are a lot of poisonous plants for cats and dogs around Christmas and small children. So yeah, just be wary of the things with berries and a lot of the greenery stuff because it is toxic to pets. Hi, Megan. Claire has been dreaming about fires and the house across the road went on fire last night. I'm glad I don't live near you. Oh, obviously a bit of a premonition there, Claire. Bit of a premonition. So what other Christmas plants have we got? What haven't we covered? All Christmas foods. We left the cashew out when we were doing nuts. The cashew is, if you see a cashew growing, it looks very weird, very strange way of growing. It is literally born from the womb of the cashew apple. So it carries a really good feminine energy with it. You can eat cashew nuts to give you an extra energy boost or just because they're nice. You can add cashew nuts to your spell workings to increase prosperity. It's the nuts, all of the nuts, all to do with prosperity. The cashew nut is prosperity and a boost of energy, ruled by the sun, element of fire and earth, and it is feminine energy as well. Lizzie, chocolate. We did chocolate last week, but I'll, because it's worth it, we'll go through it again. Any excuse to talk about chocolate. Chocolate. Here we go. Chocolate is prosperity, positive energy, happiness. Well, it would be happiness, wouldn't it? Because it just makes you happy. And love. Ruled by the planet of Mars, the element of fire, and it is a feminine energy. Associated with the heart chakra. Chocolate makes you feel good. I think chocolate's also grounding, so it's very good to eat after any energy work as well. Claire was worried about using your new oven in my rental. Yeah, that would give you dreams about fire. Keith says poinsettia is poisonous plants. Yeah, lots of them are that you bring indoors at Christmas, so just be very, very wary of it. Sephora says brandy. I have wine. I don't have a lot of alcohol in here because I think alcohol is really good for offerings generally. Most of the gods like a bit of a tipple. If they are made with something particular, like mead is made from honey, then I would use the association that honey has. Wine, I use the association that grapes have. So trace it back to how it's made or what it's made from. But generally, alcohol, spirits as a whole, I would go with for offerings. And also cheerfulness, happiness. You have to have it in moderation, though, don't you? Because it's, it's alcohol. So mulled wine, Claire says. Let's have a look at wine. Again, I go with the grapes for wine. This is all about, there are traditional magical properties for a lot of plants and a lot of the foods. If there isn't, you have to make your own and do it by association. In fact, even if there is, do it by your own associations, because what you see as magical properties for something, the person next to you might not. It depends how you connect with that ingredient and how you see it. Wine is sacred to Dionysus, Bacchus, Osiris, Horus, and Isis. Basically to all the gods of hangovers. And it does make a good offering to most deities. And also, if you are ritual, you can pour a bit onto the earth as well. Wine is believed to contain the spirit of happiness and divine love, unless you drink way too much, and then you love everyone in the whole world with equal measure. Wine for me has a very spiritual connection. Pretty much every monastery would actually have its own brew of wine, beer, or mead. So it brings quite a strong spirituality connection. So wine would be spirituality, offerings, happiness, and love. Red wine ruled by the sun, white wine ruled by the moon. Elements of earth and fire, and I think both masculine and feminine energies. If you make mulled wine, then you add in all the spices we talked about last week, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the cloves, and they all bring an extra added boost of magical energy depending on what you put in it. Love mulled wine, and mulled cider is very nice too. Emma says pickled food. Yes, we have a lot of pickles, don't we? Particularly Boxing Day. So let's go with, obviously each vegetable will have its own magical properties, but vinegar has its own magical properties too. Any type of vinegar, and there's various types, obviously, malt, white, cider, that kind of thing. They can all be used to add the element of fire to any of your workings, because vinegar is very fiery. It's also an ingredient in the Four Thieves vinegar that's used in hoodoo for protection and getting rid of enemies. So vinegar is basically fire energy all the way, with protection thrown in as well. Ruled by Mars, element of fire, and it's a very masculine. So anything that's got vinegar in it, any of your pickles, will have that fiery magic with it. If you've got an empty pickle jar, when you've finished with it and it's got that bit of vinegar in the bottom, use that as your base for a magical jar spell, and use that used vinegar. Pickled onions will also carry the energy of onions. I know I wrote these books, but I don't remember everything. Or, brain only has so much capacity at the moment, probably not a lot. So if you've got a pickled onion jar, then you've got the fiery energy of vinegar. You've also got the passion and fertility that onion brings with it. So pickled onions, fire, passion, fertility. Just putting a warning out there. When you're eating them on Boxing Day, you have been warned. Cabbage has its own magic as well. The humble cabbage, who'd have thought that has magic with it? And cabbage, obviously, makes the house smell when you boil it for too long. So be mindful of that. Cabbage. Here we are, cabbage. Supposedly one of the oldest foods known to man. Oh, are you yawning? Eating cabbage will help stimulate your base chakra. Medieval folklore suggests that newlyweds were given cabbage soup the first day into their marriage to ensure that their love stayed strong. Doesn't sound like much of a honeymoon feast to me. Cabbage is also said to be a powerful bringer of fertility. Watch out for those Cabbage Patch babies. I had a Cabbage Patch doll. In fact, I've still got a Cabbage Patch doll. Good old 80s. Irish folklore says that blindfolded girls were sent out to pull up the first cabbage they could find. If there was a lot of soil around the root, then they would marry a wealthy man. Unfortunately, if the root was free from soil, they would wed a poor man. I'd be chucking some dirt on there if it was me. You make yourself comfortable there. There you go. Taste of the cabbage would also predict the disposition of their husband-to-be, sweet or sour. Let's hope the cabbage didn't have a caterpillar in it. Cabbage is a brilliant food to use on the full moon and also to eat for personal protection. Cook cabbage and eat to bring prosperity your way. So cabbage is really good. Moon magic, protection, prosperity, fertility, and love. So bring that in with your vinegar as well, and you've got lots of magic to be working with. Jane says, chocolate's not ruled by Mars, it's ruled by Cadbury's. Ah, very good. Janet, now I have to buy chocolate. I have got the chocolate, Christmas chocolates are open. And me and Poinsettia don't get on. I always manage to get the leaves to drop off. You and me both, Anne. Any plants in the garden, love them, work with them. They all seem to grow quite happy. Bring anything into the house and it's doomed. It's just the way it is. Brandy, brown sugar and butter. Yum. Beat it all up. Lovely brandy butter. Great on Christmas pud. Yes, absolutely. I had Christmas pudding yesterday, although I didn't have brandy butter on it. Eve always has a bar of chocolate in the fridge. We've got a chocolate drawer in our fridge, Eve. In the little drawer in the top of the fridge that's probably meant for, herbs and salad and stuff. Ours has chocolate in it. Willow moon. Mulled wine is cold wine heated up. Absolutely. So quite fitting for welcoming the warming sun. Yes, absolutely. A mulled cider, I think, is even better, but that's personal choice. Taste-wise. Sephora says hawthorn, used for tea, and then all the lovely warm spices of ginger, cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg. Hawthorn we usually associate over here with Beltane, but it is a very good plant to use all the year round. I use the thorns quite a lot in magical workings. It's another tree of the fairy. Where are we? Dry hawthorn berries and thread them onto string and hang them around your home to bring in protection. Also good workings that require forgiveness. It's good for protection, hope, and warding against evil. So hawthorn is happiness, fertility, love, protection, purification, forgiveness, fairies, and hope. So that's a very good one to work with. Lots and lots of magical properties in that. Corrigan has a spirit. I use the spiritual connection with wine too. Four Thieves vinegar, Maria. Yes, if you're interested in that, anyone, for protection and getting rid of your enemies, do have a look it up. It's very useful stuff. And my witchy friend made me nettle vinegar. I drink it in the morning. Nettle has huge amounts of magical properties. What are you doing, dog? Never work with animals and children. Right, nettles. Not that I ever would work with children. You horrible, snotty, smelly things. Right, nettles. Nettle's very good for healing. It's very good in your tea. Protection, lust, money, and exorcism. Nettle can be used to remove curses and send back hexes. Very, very good for that. Used in amulets and medicine bags to allay fear and ward against ghosts, should you want to. Yeah, very good. Nettle would be my go-to for removing curses and hexes. Very, very magical. Ruled by Mars, Scorpio and Aries, and fire, and a very masculine one. So nettle, very useful. Pickled gherkins. I'm not even going to go there, Christine. No, actually, I don't mind them. I don't mind them in my burger. Jane, eating cabbage doesn't just stimulate the base chakra, it keeps it warm. Well, there you go, obviously. Colin, drink the cabbage water as it has all the vitamins from the cabbage. I might not do that. I do tend to use cabbage water for making the gravy, though. Jackie says, are you familiar with Paddy Slade's The Rite of Chocolate? No, I haven't heard of that one. I have done lots of rituals with chocolate, and I have done lots of cacao ceremonies too. I haven't heard of that one, Jackie. Christine, poinsettia cannot cope with being chilled. That's when they drop the leaves. Even buying them and bringing them home in a cold car causes leaves to drop. Yeah, because they're not supposed to be here, are they? They don't like a climate. Kerry, love pickled beetroot. Do end up with pink hands after making. I made beetroot chili the other day. It was very, very nice. I like beetroot. Beetroot has lots of magic. Let's have a look at beetroot. I'm not sure any of this is particularly festive, but we do have pickles, don't we, and beetroot and stuff. So, beetroot. Big family. Many varieties of beetroot. It actually includes one of my favourite vegetables. Part of the beetroot family includes chard and sugar beet, but also the mangel-wurzel. How cool is that for the name of a vegetable? Generally used just for animal feed, but I love the name mangel-wurzel. I've had purple ones. I've also had yellowy golden ones in the Riverford veg box too. The juice of beetroot makes a really good magical ingredient. If you don't want to use blood in your workings, then beetroot juice makes quite a good substitute. Beetroot is one of passion, symbolizes love and beauty, and sacred to the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite. Beetroot corresponds to the heart chakra. Use beetroot juice to write love spells. And obviously, it's a really, really earthy flavor and an earthy ingredient. So it works really well for grounding. If you want to use the property of beetroot in your magical workings, I would suggest you dry slices of beetroot and grind them into a powder, because using slices of fresh beetroot is very messy and they will go all yucky. And actually, in fact, you can buy bags of beetroot crisps, grind them up and use them in your magical workings. It's very, very useful. They're also delicious. I've also had very nice beetroot chocolate cakes, just in case you wanted to give it a try. Beetroot is for passion, love, beauty, and grounding, ruled by Saturn, the element of earth, and it is very feminine. Yeah, I'm all for beetroots. Beetroots are good. Claire has said cranberries. I think we covered those last week, but let's look in the right place would help, wouldn't it? Haven't had enough chocolates yet today. That's what it is. So cranberry. It doesn't have a huge record of general magical correspondences, but it is ruled by Mars. So it seems to me it would be good for communication. It's also ruled by water and fire, and it's feminine. So I think really good for dealing with emotions and also protection. The dried cranberries that we string onto cord, you can make into a wreath or hang on your tree as decorations to bring in protection. So cranberry, protection, emotions, and communication, ruled by Mars, water and fire element, and a feminine energy. Oh, Sephora's ducks ate the nettle plant. Must give it another try. It's it is really, really good, the nettle, for all sorts of things. Keith, what is stringing chilies used for? Oh, chilies are so magical. I use chilies an awful lot in magical workings, particularly for protection, but also to give my spell working a boost of power. So chili is Christopher Columbus referred to them as peppers because of the spicy black pepper taste. I add a pinch of chili powder to my magical workings that need a boost of energy or a power boost. Hotter the chili powder, bigger the magical oomph. Chili, I think, because of its fire association, brings a really good creative energy too. Sprinkle chili powder to bring about protection as well. Really good for using on the boundaries of your home as well. Pop a dried chili or two under your pillow to spice up your love life, or add it to your meal to bring in the spice. Chili also works really well for hex breaking spells. Ruled by Mars, with fire as well. I mean, you couldn't get more fiery. So chili is creativity, energy, power, protection, passion, hex breaking. Mars, element of fire, and masculine. So I think chili strung on string would probably be used more for protection. Emma says snow magic and ice magic as well. I did a talk on weather magic a while back, Emma. I think there is a video on it. As do beans. Beans, I think beans are really good for prosperity. I also always associate beans with prosperity, even with Jack and his magic beans. I don't know. Jackie says Paddy Slade's book, The Village Witch, I believe is in there. Well, look it up, Jackie. Thank you. Sephora, what about eggs? Eggs hold all 4 elements. So eggs are brilliant because they hold all of the elements within one. With the shell, with the white, with the yolk, they are an all-in-one element. And eggs, I think, as well, for me, are all about fertility. It is symbolic of fertility, new life, new beginnings, and creation itself. Eggs have been considered sacred in many cultures. In legend, fairies would consume eggs of mythical birds, such as the phoenix. And in history, people have eaten eggs for all sorts of meanings. There's a whole folklore thing with them. Eggs used for divination as well. Paint the eggs, boil them, and read the patterns in their cracks, or toss the eggs and divine the future by the way that they land. Egg white by dripping it into a bowl of water and reading the shapes that it makes. Very good for divination. All sorts. The shell represents earth. The inner membrane represents air. The yolk is fire, and the water is white, the white of it. So eggs are fertility, creation, life, new beginnings, and divination. All 4 elements. And I think they've got the masculine and the feminine energy with them as well. And says, love beetroot, very high in iron. Mangle Wurzel's very Somerset, Lizzie. It absolutely is. Christine has a recipe of beetroot which makes a vegan meat substitute. I quite often make a vegetable chili, and beetroot works really well in that. Colin, as a kid, we used to make sandwiches with salad and put beetroot in them. Yeah, beetroot in the sandwich is nice. Right, Jackie says, for those interested, The Rite of Chocolate is in The Diary of a Village Witch by Paddy Slade. Thank you very much. We'll definitely look that one up. Cat, beetroot sandwich with vintage cheddar. Oh, now I'm really hungry. Chili makes me really poorly. Oh, no, don't avoid chili, Christine. Don't do that. Sephora, this is a classic. Do you guys do pineapple and cheese on toothpicks? In the 1970s, we did. Cheese and pineapple, or the little cocktail onions and cheese on cocktail sticks. Yeah, it was a very big in the 70s. Generally, a potato wrapped in tin foil with the cocktail sticks with the cheese and pineapple on. Absolutely. I love them. Christine, I got a bean seed stuck on a Yule card and it's got plant me on it. Excellent. Actually, we've had a couple of Christmas cards this year with wild seeds on. Brilliant. I should be out throwing those about. Jane, beans are great. Little creature buried broad beans in my garden and got lots of free plants and a good crop of beans. Yeah, beans for me are prosperity. I have dried, I don't know what beans they are. Some dried beans in my magical cupboard, and I just chuck them in for fertility. Obviously, it's a huge group covering beans of all sorts. In ancient Egypt and Greece, beans were thought to contain the souls of the dead. Obviously, the souls were quite small. You weren't allowed to. They were therefore not allowed to eat them or destroy the plants. But I think that probably brings the energy of wisdom and divination as well. Shelling beans from their pods was said to bring prosperity your way, so excellent for all money workings. And apparently, if a single woman finds a bean pod with 9 beans inside it, she should hang it over her doorway. The next eligible man who walks through will become her husband. presumably whether he likes the idea or not. I don't know. So beans, wisdom, divination, and prosperity, ruled by Mercury, the air, and they are also masculine. And our chickens ate rhubarb and it's poisonous to them. Oh no, that's no good. Rhubarb's nice though, not if you're a chicken. Jane says eggshells in the compost heap make lovely little meeting places for worms. I must admit I keep my eggshells, most of them. I do get through a lot of eggs making cakes. I keep a lot of the eggshells. I rinse them and I dry them and I make eggshell powder, cascarilla powder, because it is really, really excellent free magical ingredient. I wrote about it in here, I think. Can find it. Yes, cascarilla is made from eggshells that have been crushed and ground to a powder, used in hoodoo and folk magic as well as other magical practices. The powder can be dusted on the body to protect from spirit possession and also acts as a shield from psychic or magical attack. Can be sprinkled around the perimeter of your home to create a peaceful environment and to protect from intruders. Can also be used for drawing runes, sigils or other symbols in rituals and working. So that is cascarilla powder, which is basically ground eggshells. More free stuff. It's good. It's all good. Emma, thinking about stuffing now. Now I really am hungry. What with all the herbs? I know have it all year round, but our family have it more at your time. Yeah, we generally do, don't we? Well, you could tailor the magical properties you wanted to bring in, couldn't you, by putting the particular herbs in? Thyme for me is very healing. Rosemary is good for protection and for purification. What else have we got? Basil's good for money. Sage, obviously good for cleansing, purification. Yeah, you could bring in whatever specific magical properties you wanted by tailoring your herbs to it. Jackie says, speaking of beans, check out a company called Hodmidods. Oh, that's a cool name. Grown beans and pulses. Fantastic that we can grow so many here now. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the other things that we haven't covered yet, is star anise, and it is one of my very favorite spices to use. Obviously as well because it's star shaped, so from the pentagram point of view, brilliant for magic. And it's just got such an amazing aniseed aroma and taste as well. Place a star anise in the corner of each room in your home to bring in luck. Keep a whole star anise on your altar to help keep a spiritual connection. Place a star anise beneath your pillow to induce prophetic dreams and also to help you sleep. And as Jane says, not only do you need a big handbag for all these things, you probably have an awful lot of stuff under your pillow as well. Burn star anise as an incense to purify and protect your home and also to help increase your psychic powers, or wear one in an amulet or pouch to provide psychic protection and keep away evil. Pop a star anise and bay leaf in your bath water to purify and cleanse your aura and energies. It's a good herb to use in new moon rituals and spell work along with new moon recipe dishes. So star anise, very festive, but covers luck, psychic powers, purification, protection, dreams, spirituality, and sleep. Ruled by Jupiter, element of air, and a masculine energy. It's one of my go-tos for any kind of psychic, magical properties. And it smells and tastes really nice. Hi, Margie. So lots and lots of things that have associations with the festive period. Ingredients, plants. We didn't cover the pine tree, did we? We didn't cover the pine tree. Let's have a look at the good old pine tree. Obviously, yeah, festive Yule tree is some sort of pine or plastic that represents pine. But pine is excellent for all kinds of dragon magic. That's generally what I use it for. It is good for bringing us back to ourselves, for that centering and focusing. It also brings a strong magical protection for the home. It's bringing all this greenery in. It's all bringing in protection. Also brings a sense of hospitality and welcome. Keep pine needles in your home to bring in abundance. I tend to collect them from if you've got a real Christmas tree, when you're done with it, collect the pine needles, dry them, and keep them for magical workings. It's also a useful herb to use in truth spells to find hidden knowledge or secrets. Use it in incense blends to protect and purify your home or your sacred space. I add a few drops of pine essential oil to my floor wash as well, because it brings about that cleansing, that removing negative energy, but it brings protection in as well. Pine cones, really good in fertility, magical workings, and healing spells. So pine, brilliant for all sorts of things. Centering, focus, dragon magic, protection, truth, abundance, purification, fertility, healing. Ruled by Mars and Saturn, sign of Capricorn, and the element of air and fire, and it's got a masculine energy. So that's your Christmas tree. Hi, Leslie. Keith says, all this stuff plus crystals under our pillows. How do we sleep? Exactly. The pillow would be about 3 foot off the ground, wouldn't it? Sephora, can we do amulets and talismans next week or in the new year? Next week will be still a little bit of a festive-y thing, but I will add it to the list, Sephora, for next year. But it's kind of, I've covered quite a lot of them, because it is witch bottles and witch jars and spell pouches and things, which there are already videos of on YouTube. But certainly, Maria, get a few mattresses like the Princess and the Pea. Yeah, absolutely. So have a think when you are making your festive bakes, your festive meals, whatever it is you're cooking, creating, and think about the magic of the ingredients, because all of them will have some meaning, and you can add to that energy, connect or tune into that energy to help boost it. This time of the year can be really stressful for a lot of people. If you are having to feed lots of people, if you are very busy with stuff, if you are on your own, there's lots of stress factors involved in this time of the year. Try and think about the magic of the energy. It can help you through. But think about it when you're cooking, when you're making food. Even if you're just chucking your ready meal in the microwave, there will be some ingredients in there that you can connect with from the magical energy point of view. Bauble, says Emma, use them to bring family, love and peace in my magical workings. When I dress the tree, I bless each bauble, each decoration as I put it on the tree. If you charge it with magical energy to bring peace and happiness to the family over the festive period, then you have got a magical amulet, talisman, whatever you want to call it, magical thing in your Christmas tree, and it's there for the whole period and charged with magical energy. Sephora says, are dragons festive? Not particularly. Dragons are just fantastic to work with, just for all kinds of things. They're old, they're wise, they don't suffer fools or humans very easily, but they are good to work with. So think about your magical foods, think about your magical plants, charge them with extra energy, connect with that energy to help get through the season without burying anyone under the patio. So I will be here next Friday. We're all on holiday. We'll have a house full. All of the kids will be here. Pete's on holiday that day as well. So goodness knows what what we'll come up with next Friday. But we will be here. I will be here next Friday. And then, of course, we'll nearly be at the end of the year, which is mad, really. If you are looking for anything to catch up with, if you're looking for anything specific, do have a search on the YouTube channel. I may have done a video about it already. Have a look on my blog, have a look on the Kitchen Witch blog as well. We've covered quite a lot of things. So if you are looking for anything, do have a search. If you'd like me to talk about anything specific next year, do throw ideas at me, ping me messages, and we'll see where we take it. So have a good week, everyone. Enjoy the festive energy. Ride the wave of the fun, the positive energy, and try not to get too stressed about it all. And I will see you all next Friday. Are you going to say goodbye to people, or you're not? No, he's sleeping. It's too cold. So no, I don't think he's going to enter stage left at all, Jane. Have a fantastic week, everyone, and weekend. Oh, that's it, is it? You're right there. Yeah. And I will catch you all next Friday morning. Take care, everyone.